One mistake caused total chaos. A jackal stole the rice and lentil porridge, and the cobbler beat him up. But would you believe that this very incident turned a poor cobbler into a prince? Find out how it all happened. Long ago, in a village, there lived a cobbler who lived all alone. He spent his days stitching people's shoes and earning a modest living. One day, he felt a strong craving for rice and lentil porridge. He had not eaten good food for many days, so he went to the market and bought rice and lentils. With great excitement, he cooked the rice and lentil porridge. As it finished cooking, a delicious aroma filled the entire house. He poured the rice and lentil porridge into a tray to let it cool, and thought, "While it cools down, I'll return the repaired shoes to my customers." By coincidence, a jackal passed by the house. Seeing the place empty and smelling the food, it quietly slipped inside. The jackal was starving. Without hesitation, it began eating the rice and lentil porridge greedily. Just then, the cobbler returned. He quickly shut the door and caught the jackal. The cobbler picked up a thick stick and gave the jackal a harsh beating. The cobbler tightly tied the jackal with a rope so it could not escape. All night long, the jackal remained tied up, thinking that if this continued until morning, it would not survive. In the morning, when the cobbler left for work, the jackal realized this was the only chance to save its life by using a clever trick. The jackal tightened the rope around itself even more and began screaming loudly, as if calling out to its companions. The jungle was nearby. Hearing the cries, other jackals responded. Among them was the jackal's close friend. Following the sound, the friend entered the village and finally reached the cobbler's house. Peeking inside, he saw his friend tied up with ropes and was shocked. The tied jackal was badly beaten and swollen, making it look fat and well-fed. When the friend asked how he ended up there, the jackal smiled and said, "We're living in luxury, my friend." Seeing how fat he looked, the other jackal asked, "How did you achieve such success?"
"Cleverly," the jackal replied. "I'll tell you the secret, but only on one condition."
The other jackal agreed. The jackal said, "Promise you won't tell anyone." The promise was made. The jackal said, "This man is very kind. He feeds me sweet bread every day and keeps me tied so I don't run away." The other jackal listened eagerly, wishing he could get the same opportunity. Just hearing about sweatbread made his mouth water. The jackal said, "Untie me, and I'll tie you in my place. In 2 or 3 days, you'll become fat too." The other jackal was fooled. Happily, he said, "Yes, my friend," and untied him. As soon as he was free, the jackal tied the other jackal in his place and escaped. The real culprit ran away, while the innocent friend was trapped because of his greed for sweetbread. When the cobbler returned from work, he picked up the stick lying nearby, unaware that this was a different jackal. The trapped jackal panicked, thinking, "What kind of sweetbread is this that I'm getting?" and silently endured the beating. When the cobbler noticed the jackal speaking like a human, he was shocked. Crying, the jackal said, "I did not eat your rice and lentil porridge. My friend trapped me." To save its life, the jackal said, "If you free me, I will arrange your marriage with the king's daughter." Believing the promise, the cobbler released the jackal. The jackal crossed the river and transformed into a human. Disguised as a royal envoy, he reached the king of a neighboring kingdom. He told the king that he had brought a marriage proposal from another king. The king agreed. Returning, the jackal executed his plan. He made the cobbler stand near the river, paid a washerman to spread clothes on bushes, and paid a cotton seller to throw cotton into the river. The jackal went to the king and said, "A disaster has happened. The wedding procession was crossing the river when a storm came and everything drowned." Looking from the palace terrace, the king believed devastation had truly occurred. The floating cotton looked like sinking boats. The jackal said, "Only the prince survived." The king immediately sent soldiers, believing the cobbler to be the prince. The king married his daughter to the cobbler. Thus, the cobbler's fate changed forever, and the jackal returned to his friends.